Hello YouTube. Today I wanted to do a tier list for the vocaloid producers that I listen to. It's not the most. I only mostly listen to Miku and Teto. Generally Teto. There's some like Flower, there is So Akita Neru. But yeah, it's not the most. I only got into vocaloid like 6 months ago. And today I wanted to do like a recap for I guess how it's been. And to start off, we have Nu. Nu kind of introduced me to Vocaloid. I liked this song, but then I found out that they're really bad. They made some suggestive content with children. Like this is a child, and she's very suggestive in the music video. So that is not a good person, not a good producer, and I do not condone what they do. They have a special tier list just for them. I can stretch it here. They're just not it. They're not it. And as for how they fit in with the criteria, general sound, it doesn't sound good if you touch kids. Creativity, touching kids is not creative. Animation, children don't look good in the way you think. Anyway, moving on to the next one, Azari. The next one is Azari. All the stuff from Azari has been good. I've listened to most of their music, and I really can't hate on any of the songs. Every song from them is a hit. Azari is a legend. Azari is easily an S tier for me. In terms of general sound, they sound amazing. Creativity, they have their own style that is separate from most of the Vocaloid stuff that I've heard. I know they're not typically a Vocaloid artist, but they have a song with Teto and Flower, so I count them as a Vocaloid producer. It's also just J-pop, so I count it. And in terms of animation, they always have a really good either art or just full-on animation. Like Ichimaru, for example. That's an artist I really respect, so yeah. Azari is easily an S tier. Next one we have is Jamie Page. I haven't listened to the most of their songs, but from what I've heard, they are good. Like Bird Brain released just yesterday. I like it. It's good. Rod for Cloud is also pretty good. And they even got onto the official Hatsune Miku channel, so that's also pretty good. In terms of the tier list, the general sound, they're okay. Nothing groundbreaking. Creativity, absolutely. I mean, just good. Yeah. I like that they use swear words in their music, so I think that upgrades the creativity. They also sneak in some jokes, I guess, which is also pretty fun. And I like listening to that, and then like Teto goes, "My penis!" Yeah. That's cool. I don't respect them as much as Azari. Also in the aspect of animation. It's decent. It's fine. Not groundbreaking. The Bird Brain thing is pretty decent, but yeah. Rod for Cloud doesn't have an animation, for example, so yeah. Moving on, we have Iowa. I think I'm reading that correctly, I don't really know. But I haven't really listened to much from them. I only really listened to Kukurarin. But that song, that's enough for me to put them on the tier list. In terms of general sound, the song is good. I love Kukurarin by the sound. It's catchy and just pleasant to listen to. It sounds pretty chill. In terms of creativity, it's definitely really good because like it portrays depression really well, and I just respect that a lot. It's actually like calming me whenever I get sad. It's just a masterpiece, kind of. I haven't listened to other songs, but just that one song alone, that can place Iowa on a very high tier. The animation is also nothing to scoff at. Next up is Mimizu. I haven't listened to the most songs from them. They made Bunk Off. I don't even know this song, but they also made Feel Empty. Yeah. So generally speaking, Mimizu is pretty good. I do like how the songs sound. It's like a pretty good execution of the trend that they just make the voices speak really fast, or sing really fast. At least in case of Bunk Off. In terms of Feel Empty, that song is inspired by Konton Boogie, which is pretty easy to hear, but it's still executed well, so they do get a pretty high score for general sound. In terms of creativity, the score has to be lowered because of inspiration from Konton Boogie. In terms of animation, I mean, it's pretty solid, nothing to scoff at, not someone I know. It's pretty mediocre. I do like the rotoscoped bit, but yeah, B tier feels pretty fitting for Mimizu. Next up is Masarada. Masarada I have a lot of respect for. I've only listened to 4 of the songs, I haven't listened to this one, but the 4 songs that they put out, okay, except for this one, of course, these 4, they're all good. I love all of them, pretty much. Liar Dancer, who could hate that? This sounds cool, and it's funny as hell. So Masarada gets a pretty high score. In terms of general sound, it's good. Everyone loves Liar Dancer. Ultra Trailer is also pretty good. And the other songs as well. In terms of creativity, I have to give them a really high score, because Teto is like a joke, and then Ultra Trailer is just full of jokes. And Liar Dancer, the songs are just hilarious, so they get huge points for creativity. Animation is also pretty funny, I can't hate it. It's not something groundbreaking, but it does have its good moments, and better moments. So yeah, I think Masarada honestly gets an S tier as well. Next up is Nil Fruits. I've only listened to 2 of the songs. I don't know if they even show up here. Yeah, no. I've listened to this, and I've listened to this. For Dear Life is absolutely a banger. The animation goes hard as hell, and it sounds pretty cool. So again, as a recap, general sound, that's pretty solid. I love For Dear Life. Creativity, it's pretty cool. It's trying to tell a story, and with the subtitles it's pretty coherent, I think. Not gonna recap the song, so I just don't sound like a fool. But yeah, the song is pretty good. I like it. And the animation goes hard. So I think Nile Fruits gets an A tier just because I haven't listened to that many songs. But they would definitely have potential to be an S tier. Next up is Cat. From Cat I haven't listened to many songs. Well, you see Dizzy Paranoia Girl and Affection Addiction. Affection Addiction I have to admit I like pretty much. But Dizzy Paranoia Girl is pretty much a miss for me. I don't like Dizzy Paranoia Girl that much. So to recap for Cat P, general sound, it's hit or miss, not really good. Creativity, it doesn't get a high score as well because like, just love songs. Toxic Yuri, I mean it's cool. The execution is fine as well, doesn't sound bad. And Dizzy Paranoia Girl, I don't know, it's just so bad that I don't even remember the song. The only saving grace that Cat P can have is the animation here. Affection Addiction is definitely good in terms of animation. But Dizzy Paranoia Girl doesn't even have animation, it's just a still image and lyrics, so even animation doesn't save Cat. So yeah, not it for me. It's C tier, I think. And next up is Tak Dori Dori. I have to admit, their stuff is a banger. They have such a good feel for music. They just know what they're doing. Even seeing their like shorts, the small elements that they include in music. I mean, I know it's just the music process. Just it's typical to add small elements to make the beat better. But their execution is just amazing. The stuff that I've listened to is pretty cool. Psycho Mode, awesome. Lemon Melon Cookie, not got me hooked onto Tak. And Donatsu as well as Mochi Mochi, love the song, nothing to complain about. Alright, so to recap, general sound, it's cool. I love it. They have so many styles, it feels different and fresh with every song. And again, the small elements that they include in the songs, that's typical, but I still love it, and I'm not gonna change my mind on that. Creativity. I mean, they have so many different topics, and they have like... Psycho Mode is interesting because it talks about Miku being jealous over Teto's newfound publicity and fame. So that is very creative in my opinion. And the song also mixes styles according to some comment that I read. I don't know, I haven't listened to K-pop, but apparently it mixes a bit of J-pop and K-pop. And I think the execution is just amazing. Animation as well. It looks clean. There's nothing bad to say about it. It's just good. So Tak gets an S tier, absolutely. Next up is Hiragi Magna. I haven't listened to a lot of the songs. Basically just the two most popular ones in the past 6 months, I guess. Other than that, no, I don't remember this song even. But yeah, I like the producer, and it's pretty cool. So to recap, Hiragi Magna, I have to give them a pretty high score. The general sound, Zako is pretty good. I like to chill to it, and yeah, it's a pretty pleasant song. In the case of Tetoris, it's also pretty nice. I like it. I like the fast part. I like that it samples or like imitates Tetris. In terms of creativity, going off of Tetris and just improving the song, the beat, is pretty cool, pretty creative. I like the idea. But for Zako, at least by the American mind, the original song was questionable, so they had to change it. So I guess that kind of lowers the score. But animation is a saving grace for Hiragi Magna, because they got an animation from Cast Station for Zako. Also Tetoris animation. Despite it being very simple, it's effective, I think. Although it could have been in falling blocks, so that kind of limits the creativity. But I'm not complaining. With all of the elements combined, I think I unfortunately have to give it a B tier, because I haven't listened to that many songs as well, and they have some flaws. I mean, the sound is solid, but the other categories kind of mixed feelings. So it's B tier. Next up is Sasuke Haraguchi. And I mean, all I have to say is U for Ultra. Next up is Pinocchio P. And I have to say, Geppetto made a really fine boy. Don't Believe in Tea. Solid song. It's also new. Fresh from 2 days ago. Which also makes the timing of this video, I think, pretty good. Because we got a Pinocchio P song 2 days ago, we got a Jamie P song like yesterday, and we got an Athena song also, I think yesterday. No, today, yeah. To recap, and I guess kind of expand on Pinocchio P, the general sound, nothing to complain about, absolutely. They're a solid producer and everything. Yeah, I like their songs. Definitely a high tier song by them would be Goddish. And in terms of creativity, I really love how creative Pinocchio P is. Their song Reincarnation Apple is amazing in terms of creativity. It's like, my life sucks. I'm gonna eat a reincarnation apple so I can have a better life. But whoops, the reincarnation apple only makes my life worse. I guess it's a good message for like, you could have a shitty life, but any other life could be much worse. And whatever you make could be made into a weapon or whatever. It could be just used in bad ways. And I like that message. It's like your mom telling you, you know, your life is not the worst. There's children starving in Africa. You could be starving in Africa. But the message is like way better constructed than that. And in terms of animation, their animations are banger. Reincarnation Apple has like really cool transitions, and I think the morphing in like the start of the song, and that's also pretty creative. And the fact that they have different styles for each of their lives, as I've noticed, that's also really cool that they got different animators, or at least different styles for every life. Like that expands on the message. Yeah, that's easily an S tier. Pinocchio P is an absolute S tier. Next up is Deco. And I don't even have to say a lot. It's just Deco. So, to sum up, it's Deco. Easily an S tier. Next up is Soul Town, who have decent songs, but not my taste exactly. I've only really listened to Confessions of a Rotten Girl and Magical Cure Love Shot. To recap, Soul Town, the general sound, not the best. I mean, it's decent, but not really my taste. Creativity, I guess that's decent. Miku having like a second persona, and her actually using the singer as a persona for her actual identity, that's pretty creative, I guess. As well as in Confessions of a Rotten Girl, Miku just being a brain-rotted yaoi lover. That's pretty creative and I guess funny even. Yeah. Creativity, pretty decent. In terms of animation, I do have to admit that the animation is pretty good, although Magical Girl Pure Love Shot mostly has just moving pictures across the screen, but there is a lot of the art, so that is respectable. I do have to give high points for art or animation. Especially since Confessions of a Rotten Girl kind of inspired a few artists, like they were trying to pick up how to do the movements that Miku was doing in that video. There's also a lot of art that is included, even if there isn't animation, so that gives bonus points, I think. With that said, that's an A tier. For the next producer, we have John Yakitori. And John Yakitori only really has 2 very popular songs, and I haven't listened to anything else. I guess this and this broke 1 million views. Other than that, I only really listened to Yamada Perfect and Konton Boogie. Now, to sum up John Yakitori's music, the general sound, I like it. Although creativity, creativity falls off because like Yamada Perfect is Konton Boogie. Although Konton Boogie did inspire a work from another producer, from Mimizu. Feel Empty to be exact. But like Yamada Perfect has the exact same elements as Konton Boogie, which really tracks down the creativity for me. And it will come up for another producer later. But just to be fair, copying your songs that did well in the past, that really drags down the points for me. So I have to put you in even C tier. Even though I really respect the animation from Ichimaru and like the song by the sound. But the creativity, no. Now, next up is Amala. Amala is actually a pretty decent producer in my opinion. I've listened to this, although I don't remember it that well. This was a pretty decent remix. I remember it had a lot of like versions and switches. It was a big remix with kind of a few styles, if I remember correctly. But Lai is good, and Dai 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 Kirai, also good. Now, to sum up Amala, I love the sound of Dai 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 Kirai, as well as Lai. The creativity, it's pretty cool, I guess. Miku and Teto like fighting, I guess. It's pretty creative. I know it drags from like the jokes in the community, but it's pretty cool. I like it. I just like that creativity. I like that it's referencing the jokes. Animation. Animation is an absolute banger. The artist for Dai 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 Kirai absolutely went all in. Now in terms of Lai, there wasn't no animation. There was just the staircase moving. But both of the songs still sounded pretty cool. I like Amala. I don't think I can put them on the same pedestal as Jamie Page or Iowa or Nil Fruits though. So B tier it is. Next up is Athena. Athena seems to have been a pretty big Mesmerizer fan, which, that's cool. I like that. I don't mind it. They made a very original song, aka Odo China, and now they released another that I can't translate. Yeah, it released yesterday, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the song, this one as well as Odo China. And to sum up Athena's work, I like the general sound. Odo China, very catchy. I like it. The new song, I like it. It's pretty original. I haven't heard that kind of sound from any other, I think. So that's pretty cool. I like it. The creativity of the songs, Chinese Miku and Chinese Teto, that's pretty cool, I guess. Although the story doesn't make sense that much. But the new song does get pretty creative. It actually even references a new trend of like artists animating a cute Miku dancing to one song, I forgot what it was, but like Teto as well, dancing to like including that animation bit. That's pretty creative, I like it. As well as referencing their own Mesmerizer fan game. That's cool. I love the creativity here. Animation. Animation is pretty good, especially in the new song. I could pick up on some animation errors in Odo China, especially in the intro, like the first few moments, when there's a zoom in on the clothes. You could really notice like small errors. So yeah, that drags down the animation aspect a bit, but otherwise they are solid. I think that's another B tier. And the next producer is 32 Kimei. I'm gonna give a pretty controversial opinion, I think. Please, Twitter, don't cancel me, but I don't like Mesmerizer. And I don't like the trend that it started within their songs. Like, this is Mesmerizer, this is Mesmerizer V2, and this is Mesmerizer V2.5. I don't like that. In terms of general sound, I have to admit, I don't like the execution of Mesmerizer, and I don't like the execution of the other songs as well, just relying on fast vocals and nothing else really. Like, it doesn't sound that great. It, sure, it inspired a lot of other artists, but I don't like it personally. In terms of creativity, it was original, but then their creativity got dragged down by like making two other mesmerizers, and that's the only stuff that gets popular now from 32 key May, at least in my understanding. Because like, if you look back at the numbers, they're not that impressive for other songs. And when it comes to animation, I don't remember anything from the Pokemon song. The only animation I remember from that kitchen song, I don't know how to call it, I don't know the title, is just Teto and Miku ass, I guess. And in terms of Mesmerizer I do actually respect for the animation. It got an animation from Cast Station, which I really respect. I really love their art style and their animation style. So that gets a pretty good score for animation, but the rest, not really. That's a D tier for me. Next up is Hollow Cell. I haven't listened to a lot of songs from Hollow Cell. Like, I mostly know Candy, Cookie, Chocolate. I don't think anyone else knows any other songs from Hollow Cell. This is their most popular song, and it's a copy of Mesmerizer. Now, in terms of general sound, I do actually like Candy, Cookie, Chocolate. It's better Mesmerizer. I don't even feel that much of an inspiration with Mesmerizer. I like the sound. It's catchy, and it doesn't rely on fast vocals to sound good. It doesn't do that. It's just its own song. To me, at least. I know many people think it's a copy, but I feel like it doesn't have the same kind of mixing. It doesn't have the same pacing. It is different for me. Now, in terms of creativity, many people do call it Mesmerizer clone, but I don't hear it. I can tell that it's like trying to copy the vibe. I can tell that the message is also similar because like, oh, Miku eats drugs and Teto eats drugs and they're mesmerized by the drugs, they're high. But it is kind of a different song to me at least. So for creativity, it doesn't drag it down that much. In terms of animation, it tried to copy Cast Station, but the animation looks pleasant, and I mean Cast Station animation is just in good taste, so I can't really hate it for that. I do think that despite trying to copy Mesmerizer, according to many people, I do think it's just better Mesmerizer. So Hollow Cell for me just gets one tier above 32 Kime. And the last creator, I know they're not a producer, but they're kind of an honorable mention. Mihanada Ao is actually a singer, but I've listened to their cover of Monitoring and Tetris, and honestly, genuinely, I now prefer this version of Monitoring over the original. They have a decent voice. I love the voice and I love the effort. It's also not like an annoying stereotypical anime girl voice. It's just her voice, and I like it. It's underrated in my opinion, but like, cover artists don't get that much popularity as the originals, so yeah. But I do feel like this singer, I feel like she's really good at singing, and I just like it. So to recap for Mihanada Ao, I really love the general sound. I love how her voice sounds, and I love how much effort she put into the covers that she made. I only heard Monitoring and Tetris because I haven't had really much time to dig into other ones, and I didn't feel like it. But from these two alone, her voice and covers sound solid. I like them. In terms of creativity, I have to just go by the songs that they picked. Monitoring, solid song, and amazing execution on that. Tetris, I do feel like the execution was worse here a little, but still, the song is solid, and I could as well find myself listening to her version over the original. And animation, surprisingly, she even got an animation for it, and the animation is solid. I love the animation. I love the sound. I love the songs that she took to cover, and I love the animation that she got for the songs. I love that she got animation at all for the songs. Like, sure, it copies off of the original songs, but it looks good. It sounds good, and it's nice. I don't listen to covers, but her covers, I genuinely stopped listening to Monitoring by Deco, and I started to listen to her version. That gets an A tier for falling off a little on Tetris, but she even made it into the list without having many subscribers at all, and without being a producer. So I have nothing but respect for Mihanada Ao, and I love her work, and I hope she doesn't feel discouraged by her numbers. She is doing really solid work. Anyways, in the end, this is the tier list with you in the Ultra tier, Azari, Masarada, Tak, Pinocchio P, and Deco in S tier, Jamie Page, Iowa, Nilfruits, Southtown, Mihanada Ao in A tier, and then some other artists. Anyways, this is the final tier list with all the artists, all the producers, and a singer in the respective tiers. I tried to be as objective as I could, but then again, general sound, that is a subjective thing. Yeah. I mean, I guess it is really subjective, like all of it, but this is my opinion. You can feel free to have your own opinions, and if you want, you can leave them in the comments. Yes, yes, boost my reach, boost my numbers, yes. Anyway, that's it. See ya.